So, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first time I've ever sat at the same table with three people that were coached by Don Nelson at one point in time or another, right?
Yep.
Am I right?
Coach at Golden State, yeah. So,
Really?
Yeah, I had him for 3 years. So one of my favorite stories about Nelly, he would always bring his dog to practice.
Right.
His dog would just run around for practice on the court sometimes. Somebody had to clean it up, but Nelly was always doing
Probably
that.
a rookie. Probably
Yeah,
a rookie.
for
Yeah.
sure.
He hated rookies.
Yeah, for sure. One of the questions I wanted to ask you, I said, what would you tell a up-and-coming high school player trying to get to college or a college player trying to get to professional? What would be the advice you would give to them?
Well, you want to go ahead? Or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay, I would just,
They hear my crap all the time.
Yeah,
it's
a lot. I've been staying at the Mokeski School of Basketball all week, so
Yeah, he's staying in our guest
I'm
room.
not even a basketball player. I was a baseball player, but I'm learning more about basketball now than I ever have in my life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I look at it like this, especially with young people, and I work with college kids, and I work on a pro level in the Philippines. I think the more versatile they are as players, the more things they can do on the court. The game's changed, so they need skilled players at each position. They need guys that can defend, shoot the three ball. So you want to put yourself in a position, no matter whatever they ask you to do, you want to be able to do it. And so you can have more opportunities to where people see value in what you bring to the table. So my advice would be try to be a well-rounded basketball player. Don't just, stand out there and shoot threes. Say, no, you want to be a complete player and play both ends of the floor.
okay, so you mentioned that you were a coach there internationally for a sec. Not only do I do call games for Arizona State, I'm also FIBA Media's play-by-play broadcaster from the United States of America. So I call all the international World Cup qualifiers, and then we got the World Cup, Men's World Cup coming up in 2 years from now. Just a subtle plug. But along that line, what is the biggest difference for you between seeing how basketball has changed now in the United States versus how it is internationally?
I just think internationally, they start them young, and it's positionless basketball.
Yeah.
They don't, put kids in a box, say you play this position. You have to be able to play all over and play both, like I said, both sides of the ball. Now everybody's switching. So, you got to be able to switch. You got to be able to shoot the ball. You got to be able to dribble, pass it. And what I like most about the international game is all the guys you have starting five, everybody's averaging double figure.
Yeah.
Because everybody can contribute.
Kind of like the Indiana Pacers this
Kind
year.
of like Indiana,
Yeah.
where they have 7 guys, even OKC. But we just talked to Artis Gilmore, who is older than you, but as old as me. But back then we were supposed to rebound and pass it to the guard,
Right.
and just go into low post. But now it's changed so much. You have to be able to do everything on offense and defense. And
Exactly.
it's so evident. And I want to hit on. You mentioned Bob Lanier, who. God rest his soul, is a great guy.
Smart.
And he was your mentor.
Yes.
When I was a rookie in Houston, Moses Malone, God rest his soul, was my mentor and took me under his wing. And like Bob, he told us things, not only on the court, you need to do this, and if you're guarding this guy, you should do that. But also off the court, I didn't know I didn't know how to tip somebody or check a hotel.
Right.
But it's so important. But now I think today's game lacks that. On the player level. That's why in today's game you see all these younger coaches because they're supposed to relate to the players who are younger now too.
Right.
But I think there needs to be more players like Haslip did it for Miami.
For years.
Because there's one thing for a coach to talk to you, and but someone sitting next to you in a uniform that you're playing in can tell you something that means something more to you. And I think maybe I'm on my soapbox, but I think the NBA's lacking that. And when you said that about Bob, it really clicked in for me about Moses for me.
Right.
And I would hope that the NBA, if you're listening out there, could maybe, take a look at that. I know they do it in some way, but to have a mentor all your 82 games and playoffs, it means a lot.